Well, welcome back to the Pilot's Grind. I hope you grab yourself a cup of coffee and settle in for a short story again on our innovation series from Oshkosh 2023. So this segment, we're talking about the opener BlackFly. The BlackFly is a fascinating ultralight, vertical takeoff and landing, electric-powered helicopter, airplane, EVTOL, electric vertical takeoff and landing. Let's just leave it there. What's interesting about this is while it's not readily available for purchase, they do have models out and successfully flying. As you'll see, and I would encourage you to go to the link, we'll supply the link for you, and follow what they're doing. Obviously, it's electric, it's ultralight, so I think it's a 25-minute endurance, which isn't much. And certainly, you know, could you call it a cross-country bird? Well, absolutely not. But what's fascinating about it is not only will you see an interview with the first operational owner, a really interesting guy, and see the bird, but they have a simulator, which I got to fly while I was there, and you'll see that flight take place. I was absolutely stunned by it. And I asked the owner of the bird that you're going to take a look at how close the simulator was to the actual aircraft. And he said the only difference is that the takeoff portion of the simulator didn't give as much power as the actual bird does. And he said it's just absolutely astounding. It actually takes off and lands straight up. So you're looking straight up when you land the aircraft. It was absolutely astounding. So again, this is some really high carbon fiber electric takeoff and land aircraft in the EVTOL arena. And this one is actually in production, although they're not releasing orders, at least at the time of Oshkosh. We're not releasing complete orders yet. So they have a few out there with some owners and numbered aircraft. And since they're ultralights, you don't need a pilot's license to fly them. And the controls on the simulator were absolutely astounding. So again, you know, what is going to make it in the innovation world of aviation? None of us know. What's going to make it with electrics? None of us know. All we can do is sit back and wait and, frankly, cheer them on for whatever they end up bringing to the advancement of aviation. I think that's just the most important piece of this. I hope you like the channel. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'll have links to Opener Aero, which has now been rebranded as Pivotal Aero. So they just rebranded since the show, and I encourage you to go out and take a look at what they're doing. So take a sip and watch what we learned about the BlackFly. Welcome, coffee drinking pilots. I am Ned Parks. After 45 years of military flying, running FBOs, flight schools, and flight instructing, I have learned about general aviation from multiple angles and have drank gallons of coffee in the process. So grind a bean, pour a cup, and learn something new about aviation.
Contact Cleveland Center 134.9er.
I'm Tim Blum. I live in north central Washington State, up in the North Cascades. And I just am the first customer of the BlackFly, if you can believe it.
This is unbelievable. And this aircraft isn't even out for production yet.
It is not.
And you're the first customer. You've been flying it, yeah?
Yeah, I've been flying it. Got trained up in March, and they delivered my actual serial numbered aircraft in June.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, recreational flying so far?
Recreational. It's
Okay.
I live on a ridge that borders Forest Service land, and the best time to fly is first thing in the morning and the last thing at night.
So, with a machine this light, low winds is the key, right?
It's not so bad.
Is it really?
I think I'm limited. They have a performance envelope right now of like 18 miles an hour, and they're going to open that up some.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, give me an idea of what missions, live missions, you see this doing in the future by anybody.
Yeah, I think the primary thing is to check out your area around you, preferably not in a city, and preferably very scenic.
Yeah.
I have a case where I can fly it to check my mail.
Nice.
Because I stay in Class G airspace and I stay out of the city limits. and be respectful of where you're landing. Make sure you have your neighbor's approval to land in their field first.
Right. And as an ultralight, we have to stay in uncontrolled airspace, right?
Uncontrolled is Part 103.
Right.
Yeah, by FAA regs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Fantastic. And how many hours do you have in it so far?
Oh, I think everything added up, maybe 30.
Okay.
And
All
growing.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. And growing. 'Cause
Yeah.
every chance you get. This is not your machine, or this is your
This
machine?
particular one is not, but mine's identical.
Yeah. Color and all.
You can have any color you want as long as it's black.
Yeah. Well, this is great. I can't thank you enough, and to be able to interview and talk to the first owner of the BlackFly is just absolutely astounding. I got to fly the simulator, and that was an experience, I'm telling you. So how close is the simulator to the actual
Let's
aircraft?
call it 95%.
Okay, fair enough.
The only thing it doesn't translate well is the sound of the rotors.
Okay.
And, well, it sounds a lot quieter than that. And the acceleration on the takeoff. You got a 2-to-1 thrust to weight ratio on takeoff.
Okay.
And nothing can prepare you for that unless you do it.
Okay, fantastic. So really basic, you've got the dual yoke.
Yeah, you got 2 joysticks. They both do exactly the same thing.
Okay.
It's just personal preference of what you want, and there's a way during the middle of the flight, if one fails, you can transition to the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your iPad acts
And then
as...
you have an iPad up there. It's a glass display. It has all your flight data and mapping data.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And,
And
your,
it gives you
your radar
speed.
data. It has your speed.
Altitude.
Yep.
Okay.
All the normal stuff.
Right.
And it's much like the simulator if you look on that one. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, okay. All right. And then it's a parachute?
Yeah, this is, if you look at the nose,
Okay.
we got a ballistic parachute. So
Yep.
it's like a mortar tube that shoots out.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you just pull that. And that works independent of any other powered
Part of the
aircraft.
Okay, all right. And what kind of time endurance are you getting with the machine?
20 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
with a 5-minute reserve.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're up, you're working it down,
Yep.
and then you're recharging the batteries.
Yep.
Okay, and what's the recharge time?
Let's call it for 90 minutes for the
Okay.
fast charger.
Okay,
220.
all right.
Like 40 amps.
Okay.
And then it's 8 hours for a 110 plug-in.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And it's 8 kilowatt battery.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And where is it located in the machine?
Each propeller has a bank of batteries.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
they can sap power from the battery next to it too,
Okay.
if need be.
All right, very
Yeah.
good. Tim, thank you a billion for
Yeah.
taking your time with us.
I'm happy to do it for you. I
All
can.
right.
Yeah.
And where can people find information on this?
Opener.aero.
Right, opener.aero, there it is. It's right, in fact, it's right on the side of the machine right down there. Yeah, there you go. All right, thanks, Tim. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
You're
Good luck
welcome.
with your machine.
Thank you.